Hello and welcome to Table of Geequals, episode 42. The meaning of life, the universe, and everything. Spoiler alert, no bitching. I'm PigMonkey, and I saw the Lego movie this week, and it's good. And I don't know what to do about that.
I'm Gavin, and I have been listening to a hell of a lot of the We're Alive podcast, which, for fans of the zombie apocalypse genre, I highly recommend.
And you also saw the Lego movie this week.
Of course I saw the Lego movie this weekend.
Exactly. I'm Bill. My geek is laying squarely in television this week. I binge-watched The Blacklist, 15 episodes in about 48 hours. I didn't sleep much. And a new show called Ray Donovan. Got back into American Horror Story last night. Watched a lot of TV.
It's fantastic. I'm Alex. And this week, I realized I'm about a month behind in my comics. I've been watching The Act of Killing
on the bus,
and then alternating that with playing Battlefield 4 and killing at home. So it's fun. It's the watching people kill and then, or watching people talk about killing and then killing myself. Not killing myself, playing a game and killing people.
Completely nerd to violence
You
now.
need
Huh?
a helpline number?
Apparently
I can look one up for you.
That's terrible. Have you guys seen The Act of Killing?
No.
It's on my DVR, but I haven't gotten around to it yet.
Yeah, I've had it for a month. It's on Netflix, even the Canadian version, I think. It's hard to watch. It's 2 hours and 40 minutes, so that alone is hard to watch. But for those of you who don't know, it was nominated for an Oscar. It's about, I can't believe it didn't win, but it's about in the 1960s in Indonesia, the military took over the government and then hired out thugs and gangs and paramilitary organizations to slaughter communists and ethnic Chinese. And the interesting thing about this is that those people are still in power. So this documentary film crew went in, trying to interview the survivors of that, and the survivors were just like, "Oh, I can't talk about this. These people are still in charge." But you should go and talk to the people who actually did this. And so the documentary film crew did, and they're called cinema gangsters, the people who carried out the majority of the atrocities. And they're called that because in the 60s and 70s, they were basically the people in charge, they were gangsters that kind of took over the movie theaters. And
So
they have
the alcohol business
or
drugs or whatever.
They have this ingrained and deep love of movies. And so it's a mix between interviews and like a view of the daily lives of these people, and then letting them reenact what they did according to them in whatever movie genre they want.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a crazy film, and it's super interesting because they just talk openly about what they did because they're still in power.
Yeah.
So, like this guy, Anwar Congo, he's just like, yeah, I killed 1,000 people, or I killed this many people. He's talking about, he brings the documentary crew into this area, and he's like, this house, this building is very haunted. We killed many people here, hundreds. And at first, we were just beating them to death, but that was very bloody. And it got to the point where after we would bring the bodies away and clean away the blood, it still smelled very bad. So we decided to start strangling them. He has a guy sit down and he demonstrates how he strangled them with a piece of wire. And they reenact a bunch of scenes, and you can tell people are still very afraid. People don't want to volunteer to play communists in this film that they're making because they're still scared of then being accused of being a communist. And it's like this guy recounts the story about how his stepfather, was dragged out and murdered for being a communist, and he's laughing as he's telling the tale and saying I don't blame you guys for that. And of course I had to bury the body with my grandfather and nobody would help us. Because, and he says, I'm not criticizing you. I'm just telling you my story. I'm not criticizing you. And you can see true fear in his eyes. It's amazing. It's really heavy. It's 2 hours and 40 minutes, but and I'm almost done it. I'm watching it on the bus, and that's the way to watch the film.
You're
in my
watching it
opinion.
in 10-minute chunks?
Well, no, I'm watching it in like 30-minute chunks. So it's just like, and that's the way to do it, because otherwise I think...
Too heavy?
Yeah. But it is a deep film, and I recommend everybody go and watch it. So that's my serious / film nerd thing this week.
Oh.
Most impressive.
It's so then I killed things on Battlefield 4.
Just if you're watching them on the bus, I assume you're going to work or home from work. Doesn't watching a bunch of people get slaughtered on your way to work kind of set the mood for your day a little bit?
It's reenacted.
How's work going, Alex?
It's been a rough week.
I'm feeling.
But it's reenacted stuff, and they reenact the stuff in very surrealist tones. Like they're I don't know, like the main guy Anwar Congo, like they show a television interview where like this TV host is like, oh, and today we have a group from the Panchia or Pantsila or whatever it's called, this paramilitary organization. And every time somebody says Pantsila, and anybody who's part of the Pantsila goes, forever! It's really scary. Anyway, so like she's just like, we're talking to these gangsters, these cinema gangsters, and they're talking about how they rid our country of the communists. And he's just like, yes, I killed many communists, and that's how we took them out of the country. And like it's celebrated. And
this is what, the 60s?
It started in the 1965, I think. And like this newspaper guy, like the publisher, is talking about how it was his job to like round up the communists, basically, a newspaper publisher. And then he says, and I'm paraphrasing here, but he basically says at one point, we would take it what they said, and then if it wasn't bad enough, we would say that they said something even worse, because that is what we do as newspapermen.
That's crazy.
My head exploded. I was just like, oh my god. And there's still
Fox News taking it to a logical extreme.
Yeah, and you can looking into these people's eyes, you sense so many different things. Anyway,
It makes
watch
you
it.
realize you live a charmed life.
Oh, I mean, Jesus, like you could be destitute.
If there was no doubt before.
Yeah.
Well, honestly, in North America, I mean, and I'm not saying poor people or homeless people in North America have life worked out perfectly for them. I'm just saying, at least you're not living in fear of your life being extinguished because somebody thinks you're a communist.
It's true. And you also live near food. I mean, there is a lot of food all over North America.
I just want to say this side story. So on Saturday night, I went out for dinner with my brothers and my sister, and we left, and I had a bag of food with me. And my little brother, he was like, if you see a homeless dude, give him the bag of food. And I was like, all right, cool, that works for me. Homeless dude comes up to me, and he goes, do you have any change? And I said, no, but I have like $30 worth of food here. And it's still hot, and it's fucking delicious. And he just goes, nope. And I was just like, all right. And I just kept walking. I was like, I tried.
Take it home?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, that's
I ate it.
And it was delicious.
Yes.
There's
Yeah.
no alcohol content in it, though.
Exactly.
No bottle of Listerine in there.
Anyway, so that's my downer of the week.
Well, you suck.
Sorry. I'm also like a month behind in reading my comic books. So that was a
The movies
sad
have you
week.
too depressed.
Yeah. No, and just busy, but video games as well. I bought but haven't played Deadpool yet. So
Yeah. Enjoy it. I didn't like it very much.
Seeing you smack Wolverine around kind of made me giggle a little
I
bit.
bought it.
Yeah.
I bought it used. So
Yeah, I bought it new. Repetitive, but I mean funny for sure. Definitely
Yeah.
worth the laughs. A couple of goes at it,
okay.
but
I just don't understand the appeal of that character.
yeah, I don't get it either. I haven't read a whole lot of the newer stuff.
I
picked
can
up the-
understand the meta of it. Like, I get a laugh at his meta bit sometimes, but I got a laugh out of Ambush Bug, and I thought Ambush Bug did it better. So.
Yeah, I agree for sure. Ambush Book way better, but yeah, Deadpool is just too in your face with it. It's I don't know.
See, I don't read Deadpool, so like for me, I don't know. I'm looking forward to just. I've seen the trailer. It looks like a stupid game I can just play,
Yeah,
shoot things, cut things, and laugh at the funny things he says. I'm not looking like I bought it used. I'm not
No,
looking
you're
for
gonna hate
a.
it, man. Take it back. Return it.
Well, as long as you get an hour's worth of entertainment.
It entertained me for a few hours. Yeah.
Yeah, you're
I'm
going
okay
to
with-
you're going to
yeah.
play it for 8 hours, but you'll get an hour's worth of entertainment.
Fair enough. Fair
Well, the
enough.
scene where you're smacking Wolverine around while he's unconscious really did make me giggle a little bit. Because every time you hit the triangle button, I think he would say something different. And so it'd be like, this is for X-Force. Wow, this is for... And then, like, after 30 or 40 button hits, he's saying stuff like, and this is because the player keeps hitting triangle.
I am caught up in Spider-Man though.
I'm shocked.
I'm a
Bill.
couple of issues behind. I'm about to start Goblin Nation. I
All
really
right,
enjoyed
all
what they
right.
did getting out of the Venom storyline. I know you're ahead of me. So.
I
Here's
am.
the thing that's been bothering me, because in a lot of, like, Suicide Squad's getting canceled.
Yeah.
Again, whatever, not a huge shock. But they seem to be tying the squad into so much of the DC licensing these days. Like, Waller
Showing
shows up.
on Arrow.
It's showing up on Arrow a couple of times. Waller showed up at the end of Arkham Origins to bust
Oh yeah.
Deathstroke out of prison. I mean, they seem to be tying into it very heavily and then scrapping the book. So I'm not,
But TV has no real, and games have no real relevant.
I mean, honestly,
effect.
she showed
We've
up
established
in...
that DC doesn't have their shit together.
Yeah.
Fair enough, but I mean, she even showed up in Smallville at one point.
Who?
Amanda Waller.
Oh yeah. I remember near the end.
Yeah, near the end. And
But
it was
I
funny
mean,
because one of the guys...
near the end of Smallville, nothing ever took place in Smallville.
No, that's
so.
true. One of the guys I work with who likes the shows and what have you, but doesn't actually know that much about comic books, was like, "Who the hell was that?" And I'm like, "Oh, okay, well, I didn't watch it. What are you talking about?" And he would describe it like, "Oh, that's Amanda Waller. She's putting together Suicide Squad." He's like, "She said Division 8 X," and I was like, "Yeah, it's Suicide Squad. Don't worry about it. It's good."
How many times has Suicide Squad been canceled?
A lot.
Decades.
A lot.
Well, I mean, it's what is it? They'll just revive it in a year and a half as Checkmate, and
Well, they can
they
do
just
Checkmate.
basically alternate between those two titles.
Yeah, they can do Checkmate. But there's, I really, my only hope is that this means that there is going to be a Secret Six book in the works. Because that had a couple of Suicide Squad alum.
No, they'll show up elsewhere.
I think they just wanted to
They're
get Harley
guaranteed.
Quinn off the roster.
That's interesting. Yeah.
Because she's got her own book now. Speaking of assassin book.
my concern is, I'm sorry, I'm derailing and going back to Spider-Man.
It's alright, I know you are.
Peter Parker has 31 memories left.
Okay. They actually said 31. I haven't gotten
31.
to that panel yet.
And I'm going to spoil something for you.
I
Doc
deserve it.
Ock,
I
Doc
deserve
Ock
it.
ends up going into the memories to kind of find a way to beat the Goblin,
Right.
and he ends up getting his ass kicked. So I don't know what's going to happen. But Peter Parker then retreats into Doc Ock's memories, and at the end of the last issue, he says, "No, I'm not Dr. Otto Octavius." Ugh. He starts losing himself in the memories, and then the last thing he says is, "I am Dr. Octopus." Da da da.
So wait, I'm lost. Who says that? The Peter Parker body?
Peter Parker
Peter Parker
in
the mind.
In the mind.
That's cool.
Oh.
Well, what I'm really worried about is that they're going to bring Peter Parker back in the end with 31 Peter Parker memories.
Yeah.
And
Well,
I don't want to read that book.
I started seeing that because he's running through the light blue landscape where he
Yeah.
realizes that Doc Ock has erased most of his memories. And
Yeah.
I was thinking, oh,
But this is
they're
where the
doing
robot
an
comes in.
amnesia.
This is where the robot comes in. If as long as it's only a couple of episodes, a couple of issues, with Peter Parker running around saying, "I don't know what my life is about," and then all of a sudden, we're click robot motherfucker. Never actually destroyed the memories back in like issue 8 or 9. He still has them in a microchip,
Oh.
and then Peter Parker gets them back eventually. that will be the saving grace of the comic. I hope.
Can't you just morph into a giant spider, make a cocoon under the bridge, and give birth to himself again?
Yes, and he's rebirthed
Yeah.
as old school Peter Parker. Mary Jane takes him back, and he has Aunt May in his life. And
That manic glee in your eye is kind of bothering
me.
me.
When he was saying
I don't like change.
Well, then keep reading Marvel.
How it could be fixed, it looked like he was about to cry. It was just like you were tearing up there.
I am, because I need it to happen. I need Peter Parker to be back
normal.
and be Peter Parker, not
But what?
fucking 31 memories, 31 flavors of Peter Parker.
Yeah, but you only really need 31 memories, really.
No, I will not have a Baskin and Robbins Peter Parker.
Oh,
No, that's
really? How many
30
memories does he
wonderful
actually
memories.
need? He's got, like, his uncle dying,
Gwen
Gwen
Stacy
Stacy dying.
Wheat cakes.
Fuck.
Letting
No.
the wrestler go.
The formula for the web fluid, and you're
Yeah.
done.
I quit.
His pin number, of course, would be good. If
You
remember
can't
his pin
quit.
number.
I can't quit.
It's like Brokeback comic book. How do
You're
I
never
quit
gonna
you?
Quit Spider-Man.
But it's stipulating that you are a month behind in your reading. What are you reading, in theory, other than Spider-Man?
Oh my god. I started buying issues 2 and 3 of many comic books that have just been starting with Marvel, like She-Hulk and New Warriors and Punisher and I just picked up Magneto #1. I picked up Loki #2, and like these are books that I still haven't read issue #1, and I'm just like, if it's good, I don't want to miss anything. So
That's what trades are for.
this weekend, I need to sit down and just fucking hammer through it.
All right, fair enough.
Friday night, I'm going to get.
You make
Fucking
it sound
wasted.
like work, dude.
Yeah.
It
You're
is.
have to do
reading
it
comic
again.
books.
No, actually, it is work because there's so much to read at this point. But if
First
if I,
world problems.
yeah, it
Yeah.
is. If a book is a chore to read, I've canceled it. That's my policy.
But
If
then
it's
you
a
just
chore to
picked
read,
up a bunch of shit out of the blue. So you have no
yeah,
idea.
I was down to like 30 books.
30 books. I have like 5 on my list.
Now I'm back up to like, if you count all the series that just started, that I'm like, could be good. Like, I really want to read the. I think Warren Ellis is doing Moon Knight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I really want to read that this
Yeah,
week.
I got that on my
Well,
list.
if anyone's going to make Moon Knight interesting again,
Yeah, it'll make him.
always find Moon Knight
It'll make
interesting.
him
I love Moon Knight.
a pedophile crack addict during the daytime.
Only
He doesn't
one
need
of his
any more drama. He's
personalities.
already a schizophrenic.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
Huh?
he's already a schizophrenic. He doesn't
We're
need any
talking
more
about
drama.
Ellis here. He's
No,
gonna.
that's
give him-
Ennis.
Ennis.
You're thinking about Ennis.
Yeah.
No.
It would be Moon Knight crossed.
No,
and he
Ennis.
would just fuck babies. That would be.
Oh
it.
yeah, no. I know that. Ennis is still pretty fucked up.
Ellis.
Ellis is still pretty fucked
Not
up.
on the same level.
Not on
though.
the same level.
No.
But he does. His characters are
well,
flawed.
what else has he done?
sure.
He has flawed characters.
Yeah. Warren Ellis?
Yeah, that Andrew's got such a weird.
Yeah, I
hate
want to
on
hear
him.
examples. What is so entirely fucked up about Warren Ellis?
What was it? Crooked Little Vein.
Ah, classic. Loved it. Did you read Gun Machine?
No.
How the hell have I not lent you Gun Machine?
Like a
Crooked Little
70s
Vein.
metal band.
Crooked Little Vein.
Machine.
No,
They have a
it's
song about themselves.
it's a
Open
great
every show.
little sort of detective story, and the main character is this mediephile.
Wait,
geek
whoa.
detective.
Does he have a gun machine?
He finds a gun machine.
Ah!
It's like
What does
literally
a gun machine do?
Well, it's a room
It's like a 3D printer.
full of guns that have been used in murders that are all put together like a Native American sort of memory spell of murder. And he's trying to figure out, like, because he just sort of accidentally in the first chapter, he sort of a hole gets blown in this wall, and he looks inside and he's like, "Oh shit!" And his boss, the lieutenant, sort of like, "Well, you just found 600 guns connected to 600 murders. They're on you." It's a fantastic read.
At that point, you just brick up the wall.
They're on me? Okay.
Do over,
problem
mulligan.
It was discussed.
Can you mulligan as a homicide detective?
Probably not.
But it's got this great sort of texture of crossing Native American mythos with modern issues. And it's a great book. I'm really stunned. I haven't lent it to any of you at this point.
No,
I'm just
heard of it. I
disappointed.
like his stuff.
Sorry?
I'm just disappointed.
I'm
In what?
getting into Portland
In
town
you.
right now.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, I deserve that. But I mean, I like most of his books, and
Yeah,
I think
no.
he does
Moon
flawed
Knight-
characters
Moon Knight
incredibly
is one of the
well.
people
and-
that I'd be happy with.
Drug
Yeah.
addicted,
Having-
low on the totem pole assholes. Spider Jerusalem is the perfect example
Yeah.
of it. So I mean, that comes from Warren Ellis's head.
I honestly, I think he'll do a great job with Moon Knight.
I think so too.
And
I'm
I
down with
really
both of
hope
those.
that Guardians of the... Everybody, any nerd out there ever should go and see Guardians of the Galaxy when it
Oh,
comes
do you think
out.
that's going to be a good movie?
I don't give a shit if it's a good movie. And I do think it's going to be a good movie. I love the trailer.
What it has the potential of unlocking is worth seeing it. Like
Exactly.
it's worth going to see it just so that you
Moon Knight
can
gets a
get-
Netflix series.
Well, no, not a Netflix series.
It's a fucking
feature
movie.
It's a feature film. If you can put Guardians of the Galaxy in a feature film and make the monkeys come out and watch it, then you can put anything, any Marvel title, as a feature film. I mean, nobody.
what's left?
The four of us had heard of Guardians of the Galaxy. What's left?
Yeah.
Defenders.
Oh, tons of stuff. I'd love to see a Defenders movie.
The Invaders.
The Invaders.
Like, have a World
Oh,
War II.
okay. I'm back in.
Invaders
I'm
film.
back in. That I would watch.
How awesome would that be? Now, I don't know who Namor is a film property for.
Well,
But
it could be Fantastic Four,
could
couldn't
be,
he?
could
But he's
be.
also an X-Men.
and he's also just part of Marvel in general.
Yeah.
So was he sold off in the big sell-off? I don't know.
But there's also the
He's an
original
original
Human
Avenger,
Torch.
The original Human Torch
And Toro.
and Toro and Bucky and Cap.
And Cap.
Yeah.
You could do an Invaders film. It would mean like going in and saying it happened during Captain America 1, like in one of the like montage
Yeah.
scenes that we didn't really
Yeah.
explore.
You could deal with that Peggy storyline too.
Yeah.
If you went
Here's a
back.
question. Here's a question that occurred to me the other day, in the idea of making comic movies and what is a comic movie or a movie reboot? What is your next comic movie or movie reboot? You have, like
Like what I want to see. them do
100.
next?
You have $250 million. Make it. Make your comic book or movie reboot movie. What do you want to see?
Saga Episode 1.
Oh, good
I
call.
just want to see Saga Book 3. I can't wait for that thing to
That
come
would
out.
also be good,
I
but
think we're getting close to it. But
Saga Episode 1 would be phenomenal.
yeah.
Also, I'm enjoying. I would love to see. I would take that 250 million and launch an Invincible TV series.
Ooh,
That is
Yeah.
what I would do instead.
I would make Incredibles 2.
yeah.
Give me a sequel
What?
for Incredibles. No, that's not my answer. I need a second to think. You must already have an answer, PigMonkey.
I
Well-
really like both of those answers. A whole
So
bunch.
I just need $500 million.
In the idea, in the like, not even like for with 250,000. I was watching this
250
movie.
million.
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 It's not a Canadian film.
I know, but I was actually
Whoa. 250,000 for Canadian.
It's not a
film?
Canadian trilogy.
That's a little high.
He said trilogy.
Okay.
It was a couple of days ago. I was watching, and you're gonna laugh, but I was watching UHF again, and that is 25 years old.
It's a great movie.
It's 25 years old.
It's
You
almost
could
as old
do
as me.
You could do
You want to reboot?
a reboot
Yeah.
of UHF. You could have
something orange.
Classic comedy. I mean, obviously for me, it's surprising nobody. I'd say Transmetropolitan.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I would want a Transmetropolitan TV show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Like an HBO miniseries.
because there's a
or something.
lot of
Ooh,
characters.
yeah.
there's a lot of characters that you just don't want to leave on the table.
Oh yeah.
if
If
you're
somebody
doing that.
if somebody handed you $250 million, just
fucking
straight up
run.
go.
They're not getting a movie. I'm getting a yacht.
I'm out of here.
So like a multi-billionaire, like a huge oil guy, comes up to you and he's just like, "Congratulations, you won the random lotto of humanity. Here's $250 million. You have to produce either a film or a TV series.
So this is like a Brewster's Millions kind of thing to
Ooh,
get the
a
real
film
money. I
or
gotta
a
make him.
TV series.
That's why I'm saying I would either produce Saga Episode 1, because honestly, you need... And actually, with $250 million, I could probably produce... Seeing as we're farming out all of our special effects budgets these days,
course.
I would probably be able to get like a 3-episode thing going and just roll that in, and then take all the money that I make from that and make more future films.
I take it back. I would reboot Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Yes,
That's
an
that's
acceptable
what I
answer.
would do. It was the
I will accept that.
that into a trilogy. I would split the first each movie. Each movie is a book of air, book of water, book of fire.
That's good. Also, again, I have to go back. I would approach AMC and HBO and say, I will make. I'd say to Robert Kirkman, so it would probably be an AMC film. I'd be like, or a TV show. I'd be like, okay, I have $250 million, tax free,
Unmarked bills.
unmarked bills. I want to make this.
Non-sequential.
I will fund it. You make it. Go.
Where did I get the money? Crack. But you don't need to know that.
Rob Ford is a good friend of mine. So, no, actually, he smokes it. He doesn't sell it.
Yeah, to be
So
a
as
little.
far
He
as
gets it
we
off
know.
the streets. He gets it off the streets so it doesn't get in the hands of kids, man.
There's a man,
yeah.
he's sacrificing
That's
his
right.
body to get drugs
Oh,
off the
stop
streets.
being so smug
So,
about it.
Avatar, Transmet,
Yeah.
Invincible /
Pick
Saga.
one. Pick one.
Actually, more than I think about it, I would do a TV show of Invincible. I would want to see that. That would be amazing.
That would be pretty cool. I could totally get behind that.
Yeah.
Bill.
I don't have one.
Yeah,
You know,
you
I
Get
always thought you could make a really good dark version of. Remember Sleepwalker from the early '90s?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always
That
thought
would
you
be
could
good.
make a spooky kind of paranormal.
Just
activity.
before things really the wheels flew off
Yeah.
the entire comic industry in the
Yeah.
90s. Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's a kind of a weird one. Have any of you guys read Baltimore?
I don't think so.
Mike Mignola. It's post World War One.
Oh, Baltimore. Yeah,
Yeah,
you've
yeah.
lent me Baltimore. Yeah.
I think that would be a really excellent TV series or movie.
Morning Glories or DMZ.
DMZ's been optioned. We might be
I
seeing that
know.
on Sci-Fi real soon.
So if we don't see that, though, that or Morning Glories. Anybody reading Morning Glories?
No.
No.
Oh, my God.
Just in
It's
trade.
Yeah, me too. It's basically Lost, but like a comic book series and taking place in a preparatory school.
But I actually believe they have answers to their mysteries in Morning Glories,
Lost.
where I never bought that story in Lost. They're like, oh no, everything happens for a reason. We have a plan. No,
I
you
like
don't.
I like Lost. I won't
Yeah,
get
I
into
love-
it with
I
you.
So
love
every
Lost.
time they canned a writer, they'd walk out going like, they had nothing.
Yeah. No, I still liked it though.
Yeah, me too.
Speaking of,
Because
entertained.
life doesn't have all the answers.
After, you know what? I'm sure that after the third season, you were just invested and you stuck with it.
No, actually, I loved it so much. I already owned all 6 seasons. No, I owned 5 seasons rather. Then they came out with the mega box set, like that came in a really cool decorative box, and I sold all my seasons off on Kijiji and bought the mega box set. That's how much I loved it.
impressive.
I love.
But
Lost.
since we're talking about comics that have been turned into movies or are going to be turned into movies, has anyone read Sheltered?
No,
that's
sounds fascinating
the
though.
Pre-apocalypse tale. Yeah, that's been
I read the
optioned.
first 3 issues, and then I kind of just lost interest.
That's been optioned, so we might be seeing a movie.
Okay, a movie, really?
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't think you're right. A
the
movie would be
narrative's
good.
not long enough
No, it's not.
for anything else, so I
Yeah.
can definitely see this movie, and probably a quite good one.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I can live without seeing Shia LaBeouf as a cult leader, but
Is Shia LaBeouf?
I
Well,
could
no,
live
but he's in
without
virtually
seeing Shia
everything.
LaBeouf, period.
Yeah.
He's not famous anymore. Okay.
Oh,
No,
He
he's
Stop
doesn't-
talking
he doesn't
about it.
want
He's
us to
just
talk about
withdrawn.
it.
Stop talking about him, guys.
He's
He's
just
not famous
withdrawn from public life.
He's not
Him and
famous
Alec
anymore.
Baldwin.
Stop it. He's not famous anymore.
what about Daniel Day-Lewis? He leaves public life every
Well,
so
that's
often
because
and shows
he's
up.
not an actor. He's the character.
Yeah,
When he becomes the character, he is the character.
He's Spider-Man's bad guy, the Chameleon. There's no real Daniel Day-Lewis. That's just the
Actually,
mask.
I'd love for him to play the chameleon.
Yeah, that would be
Is that an
I would
option?
watch the hell out of that. Can we-
Because he would be phenomenal.
Just the Chameleon story.
yeah,
hang on,
seriously.
give me my $250 million. We're making this happen.
I will go to Daniel Day-Lewis. I want you to be the chameleon. No. I will give you $100 million. No. I will punch people. I will hire people to punch you until you agree to play the
Non-stop.
chameleon. Okay.
I will have your entire hometown knocked down and covered in AstroTurf.
You will play the chameleon. Okay.
One way or another, you're getting an origin story here.
Yeah.
That would be really good. You could have Craven in it.
Ooh.
Because they're brothers, right? Anyway.
Oh,
Can I have $250 million, please?
Man.
It's
If
so
I
many-
had it, no.
Oh. What about $251 million?
Yes.
So you could keep $1 million,
Yeah.
and I would get $250 million? Woohoo! I'm holding you to that.
Wow, I'm lying.
Oh.
I think he would just use the money to have somebody beat you up and take his money back. So
Here's $250 million. Woohoo! And now I'm paying you $1 million. Beat him up until he gives me my $250 million back. Oh.
that was Dan's plan to pay for his student loan, was to go to white collar prison and shake down the other inmates.
It's not a bad idea.
It's a solid plan.
Problem is, you have to be rich to go to white
well,
collar
no,
prison.
you just have to be as big as Dan is. When you're 6'3".
No, but he'd still have to find a way into white collar prison.
Oh yeah. Guess we should move on to the Weekend Geek.
Oh, did you guys hear about Marvel's new unlimited subscription plan?
What?
For Android or iOS? You can get your first month for 99 cents for Marvel. You just go into their site and download the thing for free.
Yeah. What are subsequent months?
About $9.99.
Yeah.
Are you reading comics on your phone?
Yeah, I can do.
Like, do you like it?
Not really, but
No.
there's some books that I'm never going to read. I'm never
Yeah.
going to buy,
What? I
and
thought those were-
Comixology is pretty handy for if I pay 99 cents and I
If
can
it
catch
were-
up in my Wildstorm.
Yeah.
If it weren't on my phone, and it were more reasonable than that, that might be worth it. Because
But,
then
I mean-
you could pick and choose through the Marvel titles and see what's good.
Yeah, I just don't find it comfortable. Like,
Yeah, no,
you
it's
can't
too
have the
tiny.
full page on your screen. You've
But
got to
you'll-
be zoomed
yeah.
in, so you're swiping side to side or up and down to go panel.
Oh
to
no!
panel,
Like
as
if it
opposed-
weren't on my phone, that's
Yeah.
the thing.
But
Like,
you'll have
maybe on an
access to
iPad, but-
15,000 comic books.
I mean, that's pretty sweet. But Jesus, Alex
Is
can't
it-
keep up with his own pull list. He doesn't need
Is
15,000
it
more.
is it all
available.
like up to date releases or is
They-
some
Some,
there
yes.
are-
they
some
claim, but I haven't really looked into it that much. I mean, I don't read that much Marvel to start with,
Yeah,
so it's really
I got no interest in rating it on my phone.
like I tend to read the reviews and the previews, and if I think there's one that looks like it's worth reading, I'll get the trade.
Hmm.
Like, I very much enjoyed The Death of Captain America, and I've been weirdly enjoying Marvel's new horror title, Empire of the Dead.
Yeah, it's not bad.
It's
First
not
issue was good.
good, but it's not bad.
Oh, it's Romero.
Yeah.
It's who? George Romero?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's writing it?
Yep.
And Alex Maleev is...
I haven't even seen it. I haven't been in the
Illustrating
shop
it.
for a few weeks.
It's not bad. Issue 2 came out, what, 2 weeks ago?
Last week.
Yeah. I haven't read issue 2 yet.
Yeah.
Wait for the trade kind of title?
The art's decent, not great.
It's Alex Maleev.
yeah.
I'm a fan. But
So when did vampires versus zombies become a thing?
It was inevitable.
since you had
Actually,
the rise of zombies and the rise of vampires pretty much at the same time in popular
about
culture.
Yeah.
4 years ago,
Real
Spike
nerds.
TV did on Ultimate Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah.
Vampires versus zombies. I think at
Yeah.
Deadliest
Ultimate
Warrior.
Warrior is a crazy
Yeah.
ass wrestler.
Yeah, he's out to
Deadliest
lunch.
Warrior, they did vampires versus zombies, and I have to say that they were wrong because half of their technique involved striking with a strength that would shatter the bones in the arm that was striking. So it doesn't matter how strong a vampire might be overcharged. Bone density is still bone density.
Yeah.
You're saying that a show on Spike didn't have their facts straight? Jesus
zombies.
Christ.
I
It
don't
was,
believe it.
it was worse
Let's
than that
craft a
because
letter.
it wasn't just zombies versus vampires. It was specifically 30 Days of Night vampires
Right.
versus Max Brooks' World War Z zombies.
Right.
Now, Max Brooks has gone on to write another series for Dynamite or Avatar.
Empire of the Dead. No, Extinction
Parade.
Parade, yeah. Terrible.
So
That's a horrible
it's-
title.
It's not a great book.
Horrible book.
Yeah, that's too bad.
I
Honestly,
can't
they-
stop reading
think
it,
of
but
the
I don't
fun
feel good
you
about
could
it.
have with an extinction parade. Here we have the.
See,
On that
Up
note,
next, we have the passenger pigeon.
Extinction Parade just made me think of this. Did any of you guys see The Purge, that Christian Slater movie?
They're
last
making a
year?
sequel.
not Christian
Why?
Slater.
Not Christian Slater. Ethan Hawke.
Ethan Hawke.
Yeah,
Same
I
thing.
haven't seen
Interchangeable.
it. I
Well,
liked the idea.
That's my question. They're making a sequel. I thought it had bombed really, really hard. But the sequel, the promo I saw the other day, looks awesome. It's called The Purge Anarchy.
Yeah, the thing is, though, movies like that are super low budget.
And they sell overseas.
And they sell overseas.
There's not a lot of talking.
And even if they just break even in the theater, they're going to make their money on the home video market.
Yeah. I
Because
was just
people are
really
going to
surprised
download
to
it.
see-
People are going to, on Xbox.
Ethan
and
Hawke has
PS3.
made some really bizarre decisions for roles.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's true.
Like Daybreakers, did that really need to get made?
Yeah, I know.
It had a good concept. I liked the concept.
Nobody saw it.
I did twice.
I'm sorry.
Twice.
And then you own it.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
He wasn't quite willing to give that up, but
It's a vampire movie.
but the promo for Purge Anarchy looks awesome.
It's a non-Twilight vampire movie,
Yeah.
so it's in my collection because that's one of my things.
Yes.
And I'm unapologetic about it.
No, that's true. I've bought more than one crappy vampire movie for you.
Yeah, it's
I'm
true.
like, oh, hey, look, a crappy vampire movie. I know who could use this.
The kickboxing one wasn't
give it a
bad,
good home.
actually. It was just,
I'm down with that.
it had one of the guys from Carnival.
Yeah?
Yeah, the guy that played Lode in Carnival.
Oh, okay.
He's been in a bunch of other stuff, but very weird.
Man.
Don't judge me. We all have our thing.
You're just so
we
easy
will
to
continue
judge.
to judge.
Yeah.
It's a mech
Judging
warrior
will
boy.
continue.
Hey, man, I have no problem with being judged for loving Mech Warrior.
That's okay.
I'm perfectly comfortable with my
I
addictions.
missed the tabletop game.
I really do. I was actually talking to Pat today at Quantum and saying, hey, man, if you ever find that, I want it. And he's like, if I find that, you don't get it. I get it. So.
That's understandable, though. That's one of the perks of owning a comic.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
First, yeah.
Like, listen, months ago, somebody came in with a big bag of action figures. And there were, like, 90s Marvel action figures, a bunch of 90s and 80s Star Wars figures. And he was straight up, I don't want these anymore. You can have them. I was just like,
Mine!
okay. So now I have a bunch of awesome action figures. Yeah.
Well, you know what that's like. Like, we get in one of the big things of dice. Big things
Yeah.
of dice. And I just happened to glance down.
Are you the reason I never get the emoticon dice?
No, that was another guy.
I found those at Christmas. A whole bunch of 6-sided dice with emoticons.
Yeah,
on
just like happy, sad, angry.
Yeah.
They're amazing when you're role playing. Because you can totally just, instead of just saying, you know what, fuck this guy, I'm going to be cranky as the NPC when I'm talking to him. You can just be like, roll, oh, this NPC is very happy to talk to you. This NPC is horny?
You can full on Gygax it. I'm pleased to meet you.
So I don't play a lot of tabletop games or card games, but I
Get
did
out.
play one last week called Dominion.
Oh, yeah.
Beautiful game.
Really enjoyed
Nice.
it.
The
That's a
first
good game.
collectible, it was the deck building game.
Yep.
It's
Yeah,
the first,
yeah, exactly. I
The
had
first of the deck building
I just got
games.
the add-on for Touch of Evil.
Oh,
The
yeah.
Coast. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Nice.
I mean, honestly, I bought the game originally for the models. But anyway, yeah, I just
Touch
happened...
of Evil is probably my favorite of the Flying Frog. Is it Flying Frog?
It is
No,
Flying Frog. It's
Yeah.
Flying Frog. Fortune and Glory has got 2 new expansions as
I
well.
haven't actually played Fortune and Glory yet.
Well, that price tag's pretty hefty. But,
yeah, but you can play it by yourself. You can have an Indiana Jones board game. Like, if you, like, you know what? I'm alone and I got nothing
Solitaire
to do.
board game.
Hey, man. I mean, you play video games alone. I think if you have a board game that you can play out alone, go for it. I play Go by myself, and that's pretty weird.
Well, that's a great game to keep in your fallout shelter in case you're the only one that makes it there, I suppose.
Yeah, I'm curious as to how the game plays out.
Quite well.
You've played it?
I have.
When did you play it?
I played it at Friday night board game night.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
And what is it like in Indiana Jones? Are you...
Oh, very much.
Are you chased by boulders and...
And panzers.
and panzers? Oh, so you're chased by Nazis. Anytime you're chased by Nazis, it's going to be a good film. There is no villain quite like Nazis, except zombie Nazis.
Yeah, Dead Snow.
Yeah,
Yeah. Or Oasis of the Dead.
Don't know.
but
that
I
one.
mean, even
wasn't
communists weren't quite zombie Nazis.
I don't
Zombie
know.
Nazis are...
You ever play, fuck, what was it called? Freedom Fighters. Anybody play Freedom Fighters?
No, PC game.
Oh my god. It was on PC and I think it was on GameCube.
I remember the ads. They were in comic books for
I
years.
loved that game. Had an amazing soundtrack. And
It was
just...
one of the first kind of open world superhero games.
No, that was Freedom Force.
Oh, right.
I loved
Right,
that.
right.
Freedom Force was phenomenal.
Was Freedom Fighters when we were playing French Resistance Fighters?
No, Freedom Fighters is alternate timeline, and in the credits for the game as it's loading up, it tells you like key events in the alternate timeline. And I love alternate timeline stories.
Yeah.
I have a total nerdgasm.
There was one for the...
because I love history and I love timelines, and so you can just like. Oh
Wait a second.
God.
That was PS2, right?
It was probably on the PS2.
Yes, I played the shit out of that.
Yeah,
That was great.
So good. And so it's an alternate timeline where like it's almost Red Dawn-esque again.
Russia gets their shit together. America
Russia gets their shit
doesn't.
together, and yeah, America just stagnates. And it's basically the Mario Brothers, right? Because it's it's
you are a plumber.
It's two Brooklyn plumbers on their way to a job, and then when they're at their first job, the Soviets invade, and they
You get your first gun by cautioning a guard with your wrench.
Amazing, and your brother gets captured. So you're like running around trying to save him, and
And you're shooting
Jumping on turtles.
and you assassinate that general.
Soviet turtles.
Soviet turtles.
Yes.
throwing turtles at Soviet troops.
It was the
knocking
first
them
one that
off
had a
the
pretty good
screen.
squad mechanic where you
It-
could just
it
be
did.
like,
It
"You
did.
guys go over there. I'm going to go not get shot."
Exactly.
I'll go. I'll heal you.
And it was pretty cool. Like as you progress through the game, you could command more followers. It was a third-person shooter. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was a third-person shooter. Like man, oh man, between the mechanics, the gameplay, the story, and the soundtrack, one of my favorite games of all time.
Solid game.
I loved that game.
I'm not entirely sure why I need a monkey wrench to open a manhole cover, but
Don't ask
It was my
questions,
character's special ability, apparently.
Oh man, so good, so good.
Good times. Good times.
Oh yeah.
Terrible AI though.
Oh my.
Well,
God.
it was the early
yeah.
2000s. It was a time of terrible.
But yes,
AI.
I also love the alternate timeline stuff. That's always been a favorite of mine. I mean,
Oh yeah, that was actually.
But I read Turtle Dove. I read Heinlein. Come on, it's
Did you play Bioshock Infinite?
yep.
Yes, but I think that was the with Freedom Fighters. It was the first time I ever bought something online. I really loved the soundtrack, and I found out that you could buy the soundtrack online.
Really?
And I said to my mother, for my birthday one year, I was like, "This is what I want for my birthday," and she was like, "Well, can you buy it in stores?" And I was like, "No, you need to buy it online." And so she reluctantly put it in her
Typed in the
credit
credit
card.
card. Yeah.
And like obviously nothing terrible ever happened, but it was like it was kind of like a watershed moment for me, especially for my parents. I'm sure it didn't mean anything, but for me it was like, okay, I kept the receipt that they gave us, so like if anything bad happened, if it didn't come, I could like say, and I don't know, it was like like there was so much fear and uncertainty in that one moment. And now it's just like, yeah, I'm gonna order this online.
It already has my card number. In
Yeah,
there.
exactly. Like we just put them in our
Yeah.
phones for God's sake.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's interesting.
In like a decade difference.
Fuck. God, like 13 years. I'm old.
Yeah.
Yep,
And you guys are older.
Yeah. I don't want to live in
Well,
this
when I was in
No,
the
I
record,
mean,
when I was in the record store, we did sell video games, and parents just getting offended that I wouldn't sell their kid a damn like Grand Theft Auto game.
Yeah.
See, that's where I'd want to own my own business. And like, if I was a multi-millionaire, if I had $250 million and I owned my own business, I'd straight up say to parents, "Fuck off!
Yeah.
You're an asshole. You're a moron. Get the fuck out of my store."
I'm sorry, is this for him? No.
Yeah.
Get
Yeah.
out. Hold
Get
on,
out.
stay still. Click. Okay, your face is going on this wall, and if I see
yeah,
you
you
in
can
here again...
never
Wall
buy a
of
game
shame,
here again.
yeah.
And I'm going to post your picture on the internet because I'm allowed
my-
to.
on my
because
webpage.
It's a fucking picture.
On my webpage.
I would love to be able to be in that position.
But with $250 million, you could probably hire a pretty good lawyer.
And what are they going to sue you on? No, but
I think as long as you say something somebody doesn't like on the internet now,
I would just say
the laws are
these-
not well
instead
written.
of these are bad parents, I would just say these parents feel that, and I'd have signs coming into the store. You are being recorded. I can use the pictures as I
No,
want
fair
to.
enough.
Yeah.
Then you're covered.
You know, and I just say, and my webpage would just be these parents feel
Feel that Walking
buying-
Dead's appropriate for their 8-year-old.
Yeah, exactly. Like, fuck off. You're a bad parent. Fuck you. And I make jokes about showing Desmond RoboCop when he's 2.5 or 3 years old. You know, I'll
Wait till 4 at least.
5.
5?
Oh, well, are
That's
we
a
talking the
little late.
remake or the original?
The original.
Uh,
The original's really fucking violent.
Yes.
Now, I mean,
Hard R science fiction back
Yeah,
in
yeah.
the good old
There
days.
was a
Which it should
new.
be.
There was a screw
Agreed.
attack I saw recently, which was RoboCop versus Terminator.
I just love the idea of RoboCop versus Terminator. If it's in the Terminator universe, it's no contest for Terminator because Skynet would just take
Take over
control
him. Yeah.
of RoboCop. But in the RoboCop universe,
They came to the conclusion that if you look at everything that RoboCop endured, there's really nothing that Terminators have that are stronger.
a T-1000.
Yeah,
What about a plasma cannon with 40 megawatt range?
They were doing a T-8800. So it was the one with
Arnold.
the grenades or the nukes in its chest.
Yeah, a T-1000 man would kick RoboCop's ass.
Well, you go watch the video, man.
T-1000 would kick RoboCop's
Oh, a
ass.
T-1000, yes, but they're talking about Arnie.
Yeah. Not, what was that actor's name?
Robert Patrick.
Yes.
A T-1000 and a T... What was it? A TX was...
Yeah, I
Was-
try not to remember.
Try not to remember.
Yeah, the movie
I don't
where they're
like
like,
the-
you know that whole theme to the first two movies, but you can change fate and future's not written in stone. Yeah, no, it's totally written in stone. You can't change shit.
You're fucked.
Yeah, that is a muddy, muddy universe.
It really
Terminator
is.
Universe.
I think Terminator Salvation was like one of the first films that Adam, I think from Mythbusters worked on.
Oh yeah.
Apparently,
Really?
I think so. Not Salvation, Terminator 3.
Salvation
That
was
makes
not that
more
long ago.
sense because
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mythbusters was definitely on the air when I saw.
But no, like it was one of the first films I think that he had.
Oh, that's interesting. That's cool.
Like he was in charge of the
okay.
of the special effects team. So
I mean, it had good effects. No one's,
it did.
no one's arguing
It was
that.
an entertaining film.
it
if
was a
nothing
popcorn
else.
film. It was a
But that's what Terminator is.
Popcorn?
Like, you don't walk away from Terminator going, wow, those were some really deep life lessons I got from that.
No, but there is a
it's-
difference. You know, there's a couple of them. I think First Blood is like that. Like, people remember Rambo for being really cheesy and over the top. But First Blood, the first movie, is actually pretty tight. And the first Terminator movie is quite tight as well. I just had another example along those lines. But it just got more theatrical. It just got, like, along with Arnold, it just got bigger.
Well, you're not
It
going to
was
see
to appeal to the lowest
Rambo 2 or
lowest common
3 on
denominator.
cable anytime soon.
But I mean,
Because he goes off to the Middle East and signs up with the Taliban
Oh, yeah.
to fight the Russians.
it's like,
Yeah,
it's all about the lowest common denominator, though. Because I mean, in the end, when people think about Rambo, they just think, "Oh yeah, guy with the gun,
Yeah.
fuck the man." And so
Getting
as
executed
time
by
went
his
on-
former
Well,
commanding
yeah.
officer in a cornfield.
As
Yeah.
time went on, it ended up being about like just that big gun, guy going out killing people. And so by the time you got to Rambo, the latest one, it was just like okay.
America, fuck yeah!
Yeah.
And
But
honestly,
it's
as far as
also-
an
it's-
action movie goes, Rambo was amazing.
Oh yeah,
It
but it's also
was.
about
50
getting
cal.
more money.
Did
It's
you
also
see-
about getting more money put into the projects because
Yeah.
First Blood was a cheap movie. Road Warrior is the other one. You think what Road Warrior looks like compared to Beyond Thunderdome?
Yeah.
It's more money, so there's more explosions, and it becomes a little less, story driven.
First one was Mad Max. Second
Mad
one
Max.
was The Road
Yeah,
Warrior.
yeah,
Third
okay.
was
Right.
Mad
Thunderdome.
Max Beyond Thunderdome.
And now we're back to Mad Max.
Yeah.
Although, weirdly enough, they did or Fury's Road, I guess is the new one's called.
What's it called?
Fury's Road. But they did a weird sort of fanfic bridge between the first and second movie. You can find it online. It's about 22 minutes long. And the guy, like somebody had rebuilt the interceptor from...
Nice.
and they have that. And it was one of the guys that was originally looking like he was going to be playing Max in in Fury's Road before Tom Hardy got the role. It's really good, and it actually neatly bridges the Max leaving the Main Force Police, MFP, and drifting off into the wasteland, hunting down Toe Cutter and his crowd. And
Toe Cutter.
well, that was the name of the
I
guy.
know they didn't. They just didn't put a lot of work into it.
The Knight Rider.
Yeah, exactly.
And where he sort of picks up in with the dog and everything else in Road Warrior.
Interesting.
It's solid. Look it up.
Just walk away. That's anytime anybody's like being really stupid and taking part in a conversation or a confrontation that is just not working for anybody, whether it be at work, in my personal life, whatever. And it's funny. You can see when people when some people recognize the reference.
Yeah.
But sometimes I'll just be like, just walk away. And then I'll turn around and go away. And sometimes people will be like, oh my god, yes.
You just Mad Maxed me.
See, that reminds me of the queef from South Park. You remember the episode where
Yeah,
they're
the Mad
queefing?
Max.
Yeah.
No more talk, we kill. Soon my dog of war. Losers win. The Mad Max queef.
And this brings us to mine. Shut the fuck up, Donnie.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh, that was so wrong.
Just walk away. Oh man. Such a good
was
movie.
a villain. You didn't see him do
Really,
shit,
though?
but you were scared of him.
I know.
Like Vader.
Like Vader.
Yeah.
I was thinking Dr. Claw from Inspector Gadget. We never saw him do anything.
Did we ever talk about my favorite? Like, is one of my favorite fan theories of all time. So Inspector Gadget, the guy we see in the cartoon, is actually basically half clone, half robot
Bionic, robotic.
rebuild of the real guy who was Inspector Gadget.
And that's
there
why
was a
you
horrific
never
accident.
see Dr.
Right.
Claw.
And Dr.
'cause he
Claw
was
is the-
exploded. You
he
see it in
was
the
the
opening
real-
credits, the bomb.
Yeah, Dr. Claw was the real Inspector Gadget, the guy
Yeah.
who was Penny's uncle, and that's why he's always capturing Penny
And never killing her.
never hurting her. She's always okay, and it's always easily escapable. His plan is just to kill the robot so that he can reveal to Penny, "I am your real uncle." I love that fan
It
theory.
is very good. No, I've never read that before.
Oh
I
my
have.
god, I love that's one of my favorites of all time.
It's a good one.
because it's perfect. It's like creepy and gross and weird and
And it explains
and
why you
sad
never see him.
and exactly and why he would always put her in a situation where she can easily escape.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to hurt her.
It's still
He
a
just wants
weird
to
looking
kill
toy.
Gadget.
Dr. Claw toy?
Then
Yes.
kill
What is
the
it, just a chair
fucking
with an
dog.
You could think that.
Well,
but
he didn't want to hurt Penny.
They actually
That doesn't hurt Penny.
the arm
Penny
and the
loved
chair
the
and all
dog.
that, but it's this guy with like
She'll
fucked
get
up
over
hair and shit.
I've never
He
seen
cares
it.
too much. He cares too much.
Kill the dog, then kill Gadget. The dog was the only reason why Gadget didn't self-destruct.
Penny loved the dog too much. He couldn't bear to hurt her.
We're just not even going to
Weak.
discuss his boss's Wolverine level healing factor.
Blown up every episode.
Uh,
That's a good show. Good
But-
No, it
theme,
wasn't.
Good theme song, too. Good theme song.
It was, however, there were 85 episodes in the first season.
that's a
85
testament.
what?
That is
Yeah.
a testament right there
They're
to
first-
doing them
the power and the drive of Chinese
Of young
sweatshops.
Asian
Yeah,
children.
it was. There was 85 episodes in the first season.
So it's kind of like
there
the
was
opposite.
no second
Yeah.
season.
That's funny.
So it's kind of like the opposite of BBC.
Yeah,
So how many episodes in this season? 4.
They just kept drawing until they were done. It's like,
Until
fuck
everyone
it.
in the factory
Yeah.
was dead.
Yeah, exactly.
Welcome to your childhood, ladies and gentlemen. Everything you love is horrible.
yeah, it was crazy. I don't remember where I read that, but yeah, they did. There were 2 seasons of it. The first season was like 87 episodes. The second season was 10. Yeah, we got nothing. We didn't get to the Week in Geek at all.
It's okay. An asteroid is going to pass between us and the moon
Again.
tomorrow.
Again.
Today,
Today.
or tomorrow.
It's already happened.
So
I saw it online. It was
You missed
2
it.
dots.
Slept through it.
I
it was-
really hope.
It was a really interesting dot. It was a big dot, and it could have hurt us really badly.
But
It
it
was
didn't.
bigger than the dot that exploded over Russia,
Fantastic.
but it missed.
Try again, universe. No,
Yes.
don't try again.
Yeah.
Sorry. You're not going to damn
Ha,
the universe.
you
Stop
missed.
laughing.
They had a whole thing on PrepNet about meteors, because obviously it's been a thing lately. And if one hits one the size of the one that exploded in the air over Russia landed in the Atlantic, we're screwed.
Yeah, we're dead.
Oh, we here? Yes, we're done. Yeah.
We've got about an hour.
My only
Get your
hope
shit together.
is that Citadel Hill will block the wave.
It pressed right over.
If you're in Citadel Hill, maybe.
You
Is
will
it like a
know,
convertible?
You will
Can they
know
close
how
the top
big
on
the
it?
wave is because the water will go out on the shore, like way out.
Pull
That's
out,
the
yeah.
first. That's the first indication that something bad is coming.
I'd honestly just go right down to the beach at that point. If I hadn't left Nova Scotia, I'd just be like, yep,
It's coming. Might as well go.
might
look at
as well go and look and say,
I
cool, bush.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm grabbing my water wings, my boogie board. I'm trying for it. Maybe
Stand
I
on-
won't succeed, but I might.
Stand
Think
on
that
top of one of the
something
taller
that big,
buildings.
your best bet to survive would be to go out into the water, so that you ride over the big rolling wave before it begins to crest.
I don't know if that's how it works. As
But
it's being
go ahead and give it a
sucked
go.
That's the best.
Godspeed.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, at worst, you get that ending scene from Point Break.
Yeah, even a big wave wouldn't penetrate too far inland. If you could get out of the city before everybody else freaked out and tried to get out of the city, you'd probably be okay. You could probably get far enough inland to be, well, not safe, but not drowned.
I'm just hoping it lands far enough south that it takes out Jersey instead of Halifax.
And the South Shore.
Yeah, we can do without that, sure.
Well, our previous government felt the same way.
Clearly.
But no, I
Also
honestly
sticking it
I
to
made a
Yarmouth.
list with the whole thing that's happening in Russia right now. Like, I honestly don't think it'll come to war, although it's a ridiculous gambit that's going on right now, because it's like, so okay, he's going to get Crimea, Putin is, and but like, it totally is going to destroy the last little bit of legitimacy that the UN has, because they're a member of the Security Council, and China has an agreement with them, basically, according, like, when it comes to Ukraine. So the UN is fucked. But with everything that's been going on right now in the Ukraine, actually, you're not supposed to say the Ukraine.
That's right.
Fun fact: you just say Ukraine.
Okay. Everything going on in Ukraine.
Everything going on in Ukraine. I made a list of all the things to worry about to make your little life worries not matter so much. What did I have? I had climate change and the starvation and mass exodus Exodus.
Exodai?
I think it's
Anyway.
Exodus.
Mass Exodus that would follow with that. Drought, the massive the climate change based natural disasters, an asteroid.
Well, I need a drink.
Economic collapse, plague, general
Rods from God.
rods from God. Don't worry about that so much.
There's a supervillain working on it.
Doctor Doom. And then I worked at
You
the end of
forgot
antibiotics.
about- you forgot
The
about-
end of antibiotics is a major thing.
Yeah.
Fiery ass from eating too much spicy food.
Yeah, I've been eating a lot of
Taco Bell.
habaneros lately.
Yeah.
But
called the Ring of
then like honestly, there's Yellowstone.
Oh,
the mega
yeah, that's a good
volcano
one.
under
Yeah.
Yellowstone. So I mean, with everything coming down, I mean, hey, you didn't get tickets to that show you really wanted to see. Big deal. I'm a month behind my comic books. Big deal.
There's
We could all die tomorrow,
But you'll never get to read those if we all die.
but I'll be
tomorrow.
dead.
I saw a
What if it's
there's
important on the next level?
there's a TV show called How to Survive the End of the World.
Yeah.
And that was one that actually came up. Was the world gets hit by a piece of small but super dense matter, and it goes through the center of the earth like a bullet. And here's something to worry about, because then it shakes up the center of the core, and all of the volcanoes on Earth go apeshit all at
Oh,
the same
nice.
time.
And there's no surviving.
And,
Yeah.
well, like they're saying, yeah, this would be bad, but I think humans would survive. We're pretty scrappy. And
But
like,
then there'd be a hole through the earth, so you can make the total recall tunnel. You
go
could-
check it out. It was like the whole idea was shooting the Earth with a giant bullet and stirring up the
The
Brilliant.
earth would explode.
No, because it's only like the matter is
Oh, okay.
it's super dense, but
And
it's
hitting
about
it
the
super
size.
fast?
It's about the
Yeah.
size of a pea moving super
just punches
super
right through
fast, and it like when the effects on this show were pretty slick, because they're showing it happen, and there's this train at night running through the thing. It's running, and then all of a sudden it starts to lift up off the track, and then boom, this big thing goes straight through the earth, comes out the other side, eats a tanker when it comes out the other side, makes a giant whirlpool. I mean, it is natural disaster porn, man. If you want to know how many horrible ways there are for the world to end, this is the show for you. Fuck zombies,
No,
man.
I already know all the horrible ways
Supernatural,
to end.
supernatural, super dense, high speed, planet killing bullet. That is a way to die that I had never even considered.
Either way, we're all fucked.
Yeah.
Well, we're all gonna
and-
die,
and-
man.
well,
It's
no,
just
but I mean,
inevitable.
In our lifetime, I think the two that we have to worry about most in our lifetime, that will be like things that define our generation. There will be another pandemic, like a flu of some kind, that really
Yeah.
fucks our shit over, and the end of antibiotics. Like it's looming. Those are the two things that I'm convinced are going to really cut into our societies. And it's going to be a really cool post-apocalyptic, like dystopian future, like all sorts of crazy sci-fi
It's already
shit.
a dystopian future.
Well, we live in the future. It's a dystopian future. Welcome to the future. here's
Wah, wah,
here's
wah.
your cell phone. The government's watching.
Gas is ridiculously expensive, but you can buy a bottle of water for slightly more than the gas. So, yeah, it's getting there.
Welcome.
Well, that was a really fucking depressing way to end the show.
It was episode 42.
Happy episode 42.
Yeah. Who says the universe is a happy place?
That's right.
Not I.
Well, I hope that you will come back after that.
Well, I hope any listeners who didn't kill themselves will come back.
Yeah. Leave our listener alone. Man.
Yeah, the ones that killed themselves, don't come back.
The one
we don't
who-
want you.
The one who killed yourself,
Come on
stay
back.
away.
Yeah.
The one who didn't, come on back.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
I am PigMonkey,
I'm Gavin.
Bill.
I'm Alex.
and that's the show.